Well, hey guys, if you have been following along on our little sort of journey with polynomials over the last couple of videos, you'll know we've been through what is a polynomial, just talked a little bit about, the things that identify them, what makes them, what properties make them polynomials. And then last time we looked at multiplying and expanding polynomials. Well, we're going to take it one step further today, and we're going to divide polynomials. So this gets a little bit funky, but it's very satisfying, I've got to admit. So I think probably the best way is to stop talking and just do two examples and try and explain as we go along the process, because the process itself is quite simple, but once you see it, hopefully that'll make sense. First, let me explain the question. Remember we said polynomials can be written in function notation. So the polynomial x equals, here's my polynomial. I'm going to divide it by this. Once again, another polynomial, just a smaller one. And we're going to write it in the form of our new polynomial will be x minus 2, which is the bit we're dividing into it, multiplied by some other polynomial, the thing we get out of it at the end, and there'll be some remainder. So we're going to end up with this. We're going to have x minus 2 multiplied by some other polynomial plus our remainder. So we're basically going to factor out x minus 2 from this polynomial. All right, enough talking. Let's get on with the magic. Oh, where r is the remainder. I forgot to write that bit. So r is just the bit left over. Remember when you do like dividing numbers, maybe back in year 7, sometimes you've got a remainder. Well, we're usually going to end up with a remainder with these as well. So just like you probably did with numbers way back in a couple of years ago, we're going to write out a long division algorithm. I'm going to divide x minus 2 into my polynomial. All right, step 1, write it out like that. Okay, now I'm going to go through and I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to write under here in brackets my x minus 2. And I'm going to ask myself, what do I need to multiply this x by to get this leading term, this x cubed? Well, I have to multiply it by x squared, don't I? Okay, because x squared multiplied by x will get me my x cubed. So far, so good, hopefully. So I'm going to write the x squared up there. That's going to be the first part of my answer. I had to multiply x squared by x to get this. Right, now I'm going to go ahead and just do this expansion. I'm going to multiply this x squared by what's in the bracket. So x squared by x gets me x cubed. And you'll see I'm going to write them underneath their corresponding terms in my long division algorithm. It's going to grow downwards. X squared times x gives me x cubed. X squared times negative 2 gets me negative 2x squared. I'm going to write it under the corresponding term. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to eliminate this. Okay, in this case it needs to be a subtraction. I want to get rid of this first term. So x cubed minus x cubed will eliminate that. It'll get rid of it. So I'm going to subtract this from the top. So x squared, x cubed minus x cubed, that'll cancel itself out. I've got a positive 2x squared minus a negative 2x squared gets me 4x squared, because remember, I'm subtracting a negative. That becomes a positive. So this minus this gets me this. And these bits haven't changed, so I'm just going to bring them down in their corresponding places. Whew, okay, hope you followed that. If not, pause it, go back, because now it's just a question of repeating the process. That was it. That was the technique. Now we're just going to continue to do it and work our way down. So I'm going to take another lot of my x minus 2, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. But this time I'm asking myself, what do I multiply x by to get the 4x squared? Well, it's going to be 4x, okay? Because 4x multiplied by x will get me my 4x squared. So I'm going to take the 4x, I'm going to put a copy of that up the top, because now I'm building my answer, and I'm going to do this expansion. Okay, 4x times x gets me 4x squared. 4x times negative 2 gives me negative 8x. And now I'm going to, once again, I'm going to subtract. This minus this will eliminate this term. So I've got negative x, beg your pardon, I've got negative x minus a negative 8x. Remember, subtracting a negative is positive. And the plus 3 I haven't touched. We're nearly there. We're nearly done. Let's do the next bit. I'm going to do another lot of my x minus 2, because that's the bit I'm dividing into it. What do I need to multiply x by to get 7x? Well, a positive 7. I'm going to put the positive 7 up in my answer. Okay, because I've been building this answer as we've gone along, remember? And let's do the expansion. 7x, 7 times x gives me 7x. 7 times negative 2 gets me negative 14. Once again, I'm going to subtract the bottom from the top to eliminate the 7x's. And I end up with a remainder of positive 17. We're done. I can't divide x into this because there's no x's left. So let's just write out our answer now. I'm going to make a little bit more room here. So we started with this, and another way of writing this would be x minus 2, because remember we're writing it in this form now. X minus 2 outside of my new polynomial, which is just this. So we're going to write it out. And I've got a remainder, plus r is my remainder, is this bit down here, 17. Boom, done. You guys are amazing. We just divided polynomials. Hey, so if that was quick, pause it, go back, have a look through what we did. I'm going to do another example just with a slight twist, only a real small one. So feel free to take as much time as you need to. Let's have a look at this one. Once again, we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take this polynomial, divide this into it, and get an answer in this form. Oh, my bad, that mistake. That should say x plus 3. I'm sorry, I was lazy and didn't change that. Forgive me. So let's do it. I'm going to write out my division. I'm dividing this into this polynomial. I'm going to write a set of brackets underneath my x plus 3. I'm going to ask myself, what do I multiply x by to get 2x cubed? Well, 2x squared times x will get me that. So my 2x squared will be the first part of my new polynomial, my answer. So I'm going to pop it up here, but I'm going to also write it here so I can do the expansion. Expand this set of brackets, and I will get this. Looking at this, I'm going to subtract the bottom from the top to get rid of this. And that should give me, so I've got a negative minus, so negative x squared minus 6x squared gets me negative 7x squared. These two pieces I haven't touched, so let's just drop them down. So far so good. And rinse and repeat. X plus 3, what do I multiply the x by to get negative 7x squared? Well, it's negative 7x. So I'm going to pop that up at the top here in my solution. I'm going to do the expansion. I'm just going to jump ahead a little bit here because you guys should hopefully have that sort of by now. But one thing to watch here. Actually, no, not really. I'm still going to subtract, aren't I? Okay, I've got a negative 7x. I want to get rid of this. So if I subtract, this will become positive because subtracting a negative changes it to a positive. That will cancel it out. So top minus the bottom. And that will get me 24x, okay, because I've got positive 3 minus negative 21. So that will become subtracting a negative. And there's one more step I can do in this, because I can say to myself, well, what do I multiply the x by to get 24x? Well, it's 24. Do the expansion, and I get this. Now I'm going to subtract the bottom from the top. Negative 73, and we're done. So let's write it out in its new form. We started with that. We're going to write it as x plus 3, which was our polynomial that we were dividing into our larger one. My solution, or the second part, the qx now, is this bit. This is what we've got from our division, and my remainder was a negative 73, and I don't know what that line is. Well, it's there. Guys, that's it. Dividing polynomials. Like I said, quite satisfying if you get the process and sort it through. Have fun with it. You guys rock. Well done.